What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to brighten up the place. Let's get into this beautifully honest reaction. Yesterday, I talked about Shirley and her strawberry letter, which, to be honest with you, and I said it then and I'm just saying it again, reiterating, I really felt like that was a plea for, please don't fire me, please forgive me, I'm sorry. It wasn't even about her. It was because of what was revealed in the conversation that she said about Steve and Marjorie, which in all honesty, it wasn't a whole lot said about them. She said that he was winded when he was walking up the stairs when she was at the house. She was saying how beautiful the home was. It was like a dream. And when Ernest asked if Marjorie was there, she was like, no, she's not here. And she said how Marjorie looks at her like the help. So it goes from that to her having to do a strawberry letter on his show, named after him, the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and him saying that he doesn't know what she's going to say. Okay, whatever. But she said her piece. She said what I believe she had to say to try to get back into the good graces. But then he goes into a spiel about his situation. So that's why I feel like I was right. Well, I don't even say that's why. I will say that has confirmed my feelings as to why she did what she did. It wasn't about, listen, guys, I know I'm doing these strawberry letters Monday through Friday on this show where I'm giving people relationship advice and I'm going through my own stuff. So listen, let me share with you what's happening in my life. She just mentioned that her husband is in jail and that she's going through a divorce. She didn't really give many more details about that. And listen, she didn't really have to, but yet and still, it really makes the strawberry letter situation seem ridiculous because you are sitting here, or she's sitting there, I'm saying you like she's listening to this, but she's sitting there talking about Steve and Marjorie, and then he goes into talking about himself and mainly Marjorie. I'm going to go ahead and play this because I did not play any of what he was saying with regards to all of this stuff yesterday. So let me go ahead and play this.
This strawberry letter has been extended. This is important, y'all. We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this. Addressing it all. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the recap because we got so many things to go over. But if you've been listening, you've been listening. If you haven't, then you just got to get brought up to speed. We're on the iHeart app. You can play it all day long. You can get this whole interview. Shirley opened up with the apology to me and my wife. And I wanted to make you all aware of the timing of it. You know, my wife and me, we've been getting beat up for the past 2 weeks. But when something like this happens, you know, our motto has always been to never address bloggers.
Right.
And we don't give it no room or speed.
No life.
No, nothing. Because we know who we are and we know whose we are. And so we don't address bloggers. When this came out, it's a little bit different because it's not gossip, rumor, or malicious lie. It came from the inside circle. Because we are inside circle. We are family.
What came from the inside circle? Again, she said that he was winded when he was walking up the stairs. She said that their home was beautiful. She was not there at the time. She didn't say, oh, yeah, you know, they're going through a divorce. She just said they're not there. That could have meant anything. That could have meant she was at the store. That could have meant she was traveling. You know, husbands and wives, they do travel separately sometimes. Like that's not a weird thing to do. She said that she treats them and looks at them like the help. She didn't say anything about them going through a marriage. She just mentioned, you know, they're going through things that they're going through. But she didn't say exactly what that was. So to me, I feel like him saying these things is really him putting 20 on 10, because people are going to believe what they want to believe anyway. But let's just go ahead and continue to what he was saying.
And so when it came out, Marjorie is on baby watch right now. We got another grandchild coming, and the baby's due any minute, so Marjorie's over there on baby watch. She's just doing grandmama duty. And Marjorie don't really get into all this right here. And so I didn't really, look, I'm so used to getting beat up, but I didn't know how Marjorie was feeling about everything that's out there. Because these bottom feeders are just beating my wife up. And even though we've made a conscious effort and we said we're not going to address it, I'm tired. And so when this came out, this how the devil worked. I'm going to pile it on. I'm going to go get somebody that worked for me. Because one more time, God don't come. The devil don't come for those he got. He sends the ones he has. So now I'm going to get me a government employee that needs some money, that work in Fulton County. I'm going to get a hold of him. I'm going to release these tapes. I'm going to get him to need a little bit of money. I'm going to give it to this female blogger.
Child, what is he talking about? Does he not know that? Oh my God. Those calls, it's not, I'm not even going to go into all of that. But for him to assume that, because that's literally him assuming that, those calls being recorded, anybody can get access to that information. So him trying to act like he is a child of God, so the enemy's going to come for him to try to destroy him and destroy his marriage. Listen, like he's doing too much.
And she gonna get a little bit of money, and now I'm gonna soak her. But the timing of it was ugly because of everything else that's going on right now. And it made it look like Shirley was piling on. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't her intent, but it happened. Like I say, I understand. The part I'm coming with now is because it's been so ugly for my wife, man. And see, this is what I've never done before. It's been so ugly for my wife. And I've stood there trying not to say nothing. But I'm not a blog. Me, Shirley, Carla, Tommy, Mississippi Jr., we ain't a blog. We're a real media platform. And I don't know if you all know what it's like to wake up every morning that we get up. And our job and mission is to brighten your day. And it don't matter how dark our day is. We got the job to be the morning show. And we got to put on the show. And Tommy come in here with Junior come in here off of crisis with sickle cell. Tommy come in here with bad news. Tommy get hit with cancer. Shirley going through her life right here. Carla got a whole family over here. Everybody got crosses to bear. But we got to come in here anyway, and we got to be the morning show. In spite of what's happening in our life, when it ain't funny or fun or inspirational or motivational or informative at all, we just in here trying to make it. So I get it. So what I'm about to do now is clear up a few things. And the comment that came out, it was untimely. That's why we don't have people in our house. That's why that's why a whole lot of stuff we don't do. But when I come back, we'll be back, and my fat wheezing ass will straighten all this out.
Okay.
I was sorry.
But I just want to be clear about that. I'm my fat wheezing ass going up these steps. I don't be back. I'm not going to let that go.
Winded though.
Well, you sorry all you want. Yeah, that's what I heard. It takes too much time. My wife and I talked about this, and I prayed about this, and Marjorie told me, Steve, drop it, let it go. But I see my wife's face, and I see the pain she's been in. And she ain't just been in this pain for 2 weeks. She's been in this pain for 17 years with me. And so now what I want to do right now, I want to tell you something about my wife. Because we sitting up in here and we dealing with stuff and that charges, printing lies and rumors, and the viciousness of it is what I'm finna talk about. Now, let me tell you something. Normally, we don't care nothing about your blogs and all this here, but I'm really tired of y'all, man. And you know the sad thing behind all of this? The majority of these blogs, they black people. The very people that we try to uphold and uplift the most. What all of our foundation is about saving and changing the lives of young black people. And then it's the black bloggers that's the nastiest when it comes to all of us. And that's the part I want to get at, and then I'm gonna let it go. Because after today, ain't no more. After today, there will be no more. So when we come back, we'll be more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'm so sick of this strawberry leather. We'll be right back. My marriage, I got divorced in 2005. My marriage was over when the Kings of Comedy was out. Y'all ain't know that though, did you? It was over then. It took us this long to get to the divorce. That's when the official paperwork came out. But in 2005, let me help you to something. I had nothing. I lost the radio show we were on in LA on March 23rd, and I lost the only TV show I had, May 10th. Steve Harvey had no money. Got with Marjorie again, New Year's Eve, met her, talked to her. She was with her kids in Hawaii. We got together in 2006. We had nothing. She didn't marry to no lap of riches. I had nothing. When I asked her to marry me at the end of 2006, and then she said she wanted to get married in 2007, I told her too soon. I got to get some stuff together. She said, what? I said, baby, I ain't really got nothing. I'm trying to build. She said, I'm going to get in there and build with you. We got married.
Do y'all believe that? I don't know. I don't... Listen, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But it just does not sound believable to me. Not that it even matters, because listen, if you wanted to leave your wife, your second wife, get with the third, and there's an overlap and you chose to do that, that's your choice. I ain't saying it's okay, and I'm not even saying that's exactly how it happened, but what background did she have to help him build what he was doing? Let's just be honest.
Do you know what I was doing in 2007? Nothing. We had 4 stations in 2005. 4. We built this. All of us built this. We had 4 stations. We turned this into something. But that woman got down in that foxhole with me and turned this into something. In 2007, we got married. In 2008, we found out that somebody had stolen 7 years of my tax returns. I ain't gonna mention no name. And we owed the government $22 million.
I spoke about that before, and the reason why I don't believe that story is because when he talked about it on Shannon Sharp's podcast thing that he has, he said that someone broke into, he said the accountant died, someone broke into the accountant's office, stole checks that he wrote to pay taxes, and he thought that the taxes were paid, but it's his bank account. Who doesn't look at their bank account to see if checks cleared? Right? I'm just being honest. I don't care how busy you are. When you are at that point in time, apparently making that much money, you're not going to check to see if the check's cleared, or you don't. I definitely don't have the type of money that he has or the businesses that he has going on, but I have a business accountant and I have meetings monthly. Sometimes it gets a little busy and a month may go by, so it may be every other month, but that's not regular. But I get P&L statements. We go over the expenses, the bank statements and everything. I have access to those things, and I'm sorry, especially these days, and especially knowing the history of how many people who have been extremely wealthy have gotten taken. You need to be the one looking at your bank accounts. You need to be the one making sure that you have what you have and that things that have to be paid are being paid. But right here, he says that 7 years of tax returns were stolen. Who cares if the tax returns were stolen? That doesn't make you owe the IRS money, because that's just the actual tax returns. That's not the money that you had to pay the IRS. So I'm sorry. I feel like that's my personal opinion. I'm leaving it there. But I feel like what he said right there is for the people who really don't know how that works, or who might be a little bit slow to say that it would make sense to them. But someone like myself, or people who have sense, having 7 years of tax returns stolen doesn't make you owe the IRS money.
We in debt. But then guess what? She stayed with me in that. Then guess what? In 2009, I got Family Feud. In 2009, the book came out. In 2012, the talk show came out. I'm telling you, this woman got in the hole and built this with me.
She did not build anything. She stayed there possibly while you were going through some things, believing that some things are going to work out. But trust and believe, she wasn't going to be staying with no broke N-word. And the reason why a lot of people give her a hard time, I don't even think it's so much that we give her a hard time for breaking up a marriage like he's trying to say right here or speak to. It's her history. It's her history. And the fact that Steve has had his ex-wife arrested. He's had her gagged. He shuts down people who interview her or who put information out there. He doesn't want the information to be out. So it's like, why can't she say her side, but you can say yours? You have a bully pulpit to speak from, but she can't talk?
Still nothing. And I'm tired of y'all talking about my girl. Because my girl is one of the best women I've ever met. And why you black ass people out there got these blogs like you just gonna destroy somebody? I don't really know what that's about. But don't worry about it, because it ain't working. Because all we are now, we are a tighter two-handed, sir. Thank you for doing that. And you're not gonna split us up. And we're not going nowhere. And she is none of what she says she is. And she the best chick I know. Now I'm defending her. And you can feel how you want to feel about that. That's the God in me. But now let me give you one piece of Steve Harvey. I see your ass.
We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. I am going to stop it right there. Listen, stay married. I don't believe anyone is out here hoping that the marriage ends. I believe that, yeah, there are people that are watching. Absolutely. And there are a lot of people who still feel for the ex-wife, and just hearing the things that we have been able to hear about what she has experienced. And there are a lot of people who do not have a lot of nice things to say about Steve and Marjorie because of how they have treated them. Because of how they have treated them. Listen, in my personal opinion, if the things that he was saying was coming from a more honorable dude, I would absolutely love it, because I would love for a man to stand up for his wife in that way. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. But coming from his lips, a lot of people just aren't buying it because of his background, his situation. This is his third marriage, and her background allegedly being with cousins who were drug dealers and questionable situations with the fathers of her daughter, him adopting her at the time close to adult children, giving them his last name when they actually have fathers already, like him not having, from what I've heard, a really good relationship with his own biological children in that way. But yet he dotes on Lori, and I've spoken about that before. My personal opinion is I feel that he is one of those people that he is not attractive. He's not, okay? He doesn't see himself as attractive either. And his children look like him, and I'm sorry, but they do. And Lori, he can say, this is my child, and she is beautiful. but he didn't produce that. But it gives him some sense of feeling good. It's almost like some of these black guys who get in relationships with women of other ethnicities and have children with them, because a lot of times they have self-hatred for themselves and they don't want to have children with another woman that looks like them, that has the same skin color, skin tone as themselves, because of what they feel like they're going to produce is not going to be attractive because they don't see themselves as attractive. That might be a little bit of a spiel. And you guys may say, what in the hell does that have to do with Steve Harvey and Lori Harvey? But listen, if you connect the dots, you'll see exactly what I mean by that. But listen, a lot of people are not buying it. I put a link to the full video in the description of where that is, if you want to go and listen to it in its entirety. I don't want to hear any more of what he had to say. But listen, they had a clip of it on the Neighborhood Talk. And yeah, there were a lot of people that were in the comment section saying, yeah, he's protecting his wife. He should do that. And yeah, absolutely. But listen, I want to read some of the comments from some of the people that just are like, okay. Someone says, now y'all know Mr. Potato Head don't play about Lori Harvey Sr. Someone else says, Steve knows damn well Marjorie wouldn't have time for him if he was broke. Lie again. Someone else says, but I thought when Steve told his wife he was divorcing her, parentheses, after she used her life savings to fund his career, he had Marjorie waiting for him at a hotel in another state. Someone else says, I could have sworn that he said he met his current wife while performing stand-up. He said she walked in late during his segment and he made a joke about it and then told the audience to meet his future wife. He said that on his show a couple of years back. I remember this specifically. Somebody else responded saying he did. Niggas love lying. And someone else says, me too. I remember that. Someone else says, yep, they met at a Memphis comedy show in 1990 when he was married to wife number one. Someone else says, Marjorie got down with him in the foxhole, but he telling y'all, don't get with dudes if he ain't got it, and it ain't your job to build it. A salesman gonna sell, I guess. And, you know, this just speaks to why I don't really care for him. I can't really listen to him. And listen, he definitely has an audience. He had a lot of people rooting for him in the comment section. And cool. Like who you want to like. Admire who you want to admire. Respect who you want to respect. I don't respect a lot of what he says because I do feel that a lot of what he sells is garbage. And it is okay for people to change their lives. I would want people who have done horrible things to make a change and turn for the better, but most people don't really do that. And I don't believe in repentance without recourse and remorse. And when I mean recourse, I mean doing some things to change things that happened in the past that were terrible. And from what I heard, he did his second wife real dirty. You know what I mean? Took the kid, got custody, had her put in jail, just a number of different things. And I've even had people in my comment section who share stories about experiences that they have had with him where he was not a very nice, likable person. You know what I mean? But in the public eye, he wants to be this motivational person. He didn't start out being motivational. I feel that, in my personal opinion, is just something that he has been doing to change the image. But image is just a covering. Your character is who you really are. And the character of who he is just not a really nice person. And it's funny to me how the Neighborhood Talk has the picture, the attorney. They have the picture of him with the current wife, and under that they have the picture of him with the previous one. So they got the picture of him with Mary, and then they got the picture of him with Marjorie. You know, it's just weird to me. But yeah, him calling out the bloggers bloggers, some of them, they may do the most, but I don't go looking for information, wanting to be the first to report about anything. I'm just sharing my opinions about things that are already out there. And I have the right to do that, just like he's doing on his radio show, where he's giving his opinions about people all of the time. Okay. But when it comes to him and his marriage to a person that a lot of people feel has a questionable background. And then if you listen to the interview that Tasha K did with, I guess it's, what's his name, last name Townsend, was a big time drug dealer she used to be involved with. He said he's not Lori Harvey's daddy, but she has done some questionable things, and a lot of people don't believe him when he says that she got with him when he had nothing. But she didn't, he didn't say that she got with him when he was single. He didn't say she got with him when he was divorced. He said she got with him when he had nothing in terms of money, because he knows how a lot of people see her. So I'm sorry. Just a lot of people just don't really care about what he had to say. But again, he made this strawberry letter about him. So it confirms my feelings on it, that this was not her coming out to speak her truth about what she's going through in her own personal relationship, but yet she's been giving relationship advice on the strawberry letter on a radio show all of this time, and her husband has been in jail for a little over a year at this point in time. So it's like, who was this really about? Who was this really for? This was about and for Steve and Marjorie, period. It wasn't about Carla. I mean, yeah, it's not Carla. She's one of the people on the show. Yeah, it definitely wasn't about Carla. It wasn't about Shirley. It wasn't about Ernest. It wasn't about their relationship, period. So, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Thanks so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.